Welcome. I am doing another crafting video for you. I got a lot of questions on my Instagram about making these little ultra depth leaves, as I call them. They're really bulky, really chunky, and really good for breakup. As you can see, the colors are really good, and I'm going to show you how to make them. So the basis of all these leaves are built with one little brown cable tie. It's going to keep the rigidity of the structure, plus the opening at the bottom here will allow us to wrap another cable tie round to attach it to our chest rig or our leaf suit or whatever we're going to be using it for. As you can see, there's still quite a bit of movement on this one, which is great for the wind. Now in this particular setup, I have two brown cable ties, couple of strands of brown raffia, one strand of green, a few cuttings of the halo screen, and two fake leaves. One is that tall fake fern at the top. But I'm going to show you another way of making it. If you don't have halo screen, I have these ribbons which have dyed differently. As you can see, there's slightly different colors on each, and I'll probably blend a few of them together. So let's get started with another one of these, only we're going to make it out of the ribbon, and I put each cutting of the ribbon in for a slightly different length of time. So this one's quite light still, whereas we're getting a wee bit darker again, and then we obviously have a very dark green. And the color contrast is really good to use, so we'll use a wee cutting of each. So what we'll do for this one is we will pick couple of different colors. I'll fold it again and snip it. So we'll start off with a few strands of different colors of green. Alright, for this next bit, please be careful. I'm going to use a knife, but if you feel more comfortable, what we're trying to do is literally pierce a little hole in the ribbon to slide our cable tie through. So we've just pierced a hole through the ribbon, and we're now sliding that ribbon through the cable tie. You want to try and get this hole as small as possible so it holds it fairly tight. Too big and it will just slip off the end, which we don't want. So there we have our three ribbons, and at the minute they don't look like much, so what we're going to do is push them right to the bottom, and we're going to fold them up like so. So we tie that on there. Once again, we can get this all messy by scrumpling it up, twisting it. We can break that raffia up. So we can go from that kind of straight looking raffia to this lovely broken up, which adds a wee bit of extra depth just by rubbing it between your fingertips. And that breaks it up nicely. And by doing that tie at the bottom, you've suddenly got more of a floral 3D shape rather than it just hanging all loose. We then get our fake leaf and we slide that down in. Again, creating an extra bit of depth. Lots of contrasting colors, shadows there happening. So if you want, at this stage, what you can do is get a cable tie, push that cable tie right down into the bottom, and use short side cutters fold it back up slightly. And there you go, you start to add lovely depth. So I've added on another cable tie, and once again I'm literally just using that as a stopper. So for this last wee bit, what I'm going to do is just put a wee bit of glue just in this cable tie, just to help seal this leaf a bit more. I've kept the bottom of this little cable tie really clear, and that means that we can now put cable ties onto our chest rigs or our suits and use this to attach on. So that's our 2 leaves finished. Now you could make a whole stack of these, make 6 in a row or whatever, and bunch them all together and create a lovely big macro pattern on your suit. Okay, so we're over at my chest rig now. As you can see, I've crafted it loads. There's very little of it originally being shown. I'm very conscious whenever I'm crafting on my chest rig to try and add leaves to the edges of pockets and the straps themselves to make sure that the leaves extend out to hide all the straight lines of it. So it's very jaggedy at the edges, as you can see, but whenever we look at it sideways on, it's quite flat, and this is where these leaves come into play. These ultra depth leaves can be attached anywhere. I have lots of little bungee cords which I could fasten them onto. However, I'm going to show you how to attach them onto the chest rig strap. Guys, I hope you liked this week's episode. It was a new technique for me that I've been trying to roll out across my suits and my chest rigs. The ribbon that I was using in today's episode is now available on skirmshop.nl if you want to check it out. I've used it also on my rifle here. It's very easy to apply. I've got a wee bit of jute cord, and even on the nuts of the scope I've just literally tied it on. I'm running low on halo screen, so I tried using my ribbons for that, and I think I successfully did it. This is halo screen off one of my balaclavas, and as you can see, the color replication is very close, and I've dulled it down using the Fosco paints. I'm using Panzher Grun. So guys, I hope you liked this week's video. Please like and subscribe, and if you have any wee comments, feel free to leave them below or DM me on Instagram. I'll always get back to you. Have a really good weekend. Stay safe.